It's a Dota Weekly Show!
Yay!
Hey guys, you're watching the Dota Weekly Show, a show that tells you exactly what's been happening in the Dota universe for the past week. I'm Luminous, your host for the show, and let's get right into the news. First and only big piece of news for this week is that 6.72 DEFGHIJK has been released by IceFrog in like the past 2 days. And not many big change to the competitive scene. Syllabear and Lycanthrope got nerfed pretty hard. The Syllabear nerf makes his bear now can only be summoned, resummoned back, or retract back, blink back, whatever, if he has not sustained any enemy hero damage for the past 3 seconds. How Blink Dagger works, basically. It's okay. I mean, a lot of times we see Syllabear when he's sieging on the enemy towers. Teams would like to stay back and send their bear in to get a couple of free hits in. Could still do that, although your bear is going to take maybe 300 or 400 points of extra damage because you can't summon it back immediately. Spirit Bear usually go phase boots, and with that rabbit buff, he should be okay. He could just run out of most trouble, but he's going to sustain a little bit more damage. And if you ever play Syllabear, your Spirit Bear is always taking damage from one way or another, so it's gonna make Syllabear a little bit more tricky to play, but for the most part, it's not that big of a nerf. I think I guess the mentality of Syllabear being a weaker hero now might just stop teams from picking him altogether. That might be a result, but it's really hard to say, so I'm not gonna make any guesses on that. Lycanthrope, he is nerfed in terms of his wolf will not get the Pharaoh Impulse bonus if it's outside a certain range. It's gonna slow down his jungling a bit. The wolf's HP is lower as well, again slowing down his jungling a bit. But I think Lycanthrope, for what he does, he's a bursty PS heroes with the wolves nearby. Yeah, they're weaker, but they still pack and punch. He's still a strong tower pusher. That is not going to change about Lycan. He can still go in and kill Roche in the sneak of Nightfall, sneak of Smoke. That's not going to change. I felt like Lycanthrope needed a nerf, but maybe that was not the correct way to nerf him. But I'm just Luminous. Don't need to talk back to IceFrog, who is God amongst mortals. So. In terms of competitive change, I think we'll still see him. Still a very good hero. Maybe more of a situational pick now, but still a very strong hero. And in the competitive scene, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of Dota 2 rumors about PIS maybe quitting Dota. I don't know. It's rumors. I don't want to cover it. But if you want to read more on that, go to SG Gamers or go to Ghostu Games. A lot of threads on those topics, so go check them out if you're interested. Let's move on to strategy. Strategy this week I'm going to talk about Shadow Fiend. A lot of times in the past, or at least I have seen threads be like, hey, why don't people pick Shadow Fiend anymore? Shadow Fiend, very strong hero. And I really agree. I think Shadow Fiend is still a very strong hero. But if I have to say for 2 reasons why he's not really being picked now, is reason number 1. A lot of solo mid beats him hardcore. I can just close my eyes and point out maybe 5 or 6 heroes that just beat him solo mid easy. Invoker, AA, Shadow Demon, Windrunner, Clock, Line. I could just go down the list. A lot of these heroes are easily beat Shadow Fiend mid. No matter how good the Shadow Fiend player is, the Shadow Fiend is going to have disadvantage. And you can't ban them all, so right off the bat, you're already in a disadvantageous position. You might be saying, well, Shadow Fiend doesn't matter, he has Shadow Raises, will farm up regardless. And I agree with that. It's just that in the competitive game, you want to get a BKB as soon as possible. Once you do pick up the BKB, you can initiate those team fights, you could be a little bit more aggressive. And Shadow Fiend is a very aggressive hero in that regard. Once you pick up BKB, you are pretty much a tough cookie to crack. So I think because the laning aspect is hurting a Shadow Fiend, he's getting less and less picked. Second thing, which I think might be the bigger thing, back in 6.69C, when Shadow Fiend was picked every other game, it was all tri-lane versus tri-lanes, it was all tri-lane versus solos, so it was all about killing the enemy tri-lanes, it's all about pushing against them, and in that regard, there wasn't many ganks, because you don't want to leave your lane. If you're in the tri-lane, you don't want to leave to gank the Shadow Fiend, because if you do leave, your tri-lane is dead. So we didn't see many ganks. It was mostly just Shadow Fiend versus the enemy hero, and for that, Shadow Fiend did alright. They did a pretty good job. Shadow Fiend is also able to rune horn much better, because we don't have the enemy supports kind of fighting for you over the runes. In this day and age, we have Enchantress ganking out of jungle with Smoke of the Seeds, we have Crystal Maiden and Venge roaming, Shaker roaming, Shadow Fiend, a very low HP hero, especially if you can sneak up on him with the smoke, get a stun and slow him, he is as good as dead. So he's a very easy to gank hero, and he just can't handle the mid lane as well as he used to. So for those two reasons, I think that's why he's not being picked. Of course, there's a trendy thing going on too. You know, we don't see the top Chinese team picking him, we don't see the top Euro teams picking him, so none of us were picking it. Hey, they're like, you know what, if these pros think Shadow Fiend's a bad hero now, then we'll think he's a bad hero now too. But really, I think when Shadow Fiend when he gets that mid game, when he gets that mid game BKB, he is still a very, very strong hero. High burst DPS with his nuke and ult as well, and very strong semi kind of late game carry with his right click power. So I still think he's a good hero, but again, it's a trendy thing, and he's not being picked anymore for those two reasons. Alright, let's move on to the Lumi So Fun challenge. You guys, if you haven't watched last week's challenge, go watch it now, because that was a hilarious game, hilarious commentary in my opinion. Go watch it. Not going to talk too much more about it. In this week's challenge, going to bring it back a little bit. It's not going to be as fun. I do apologize for that, but hopefully it's going to be a little bit more educational. If you watched my recent jungling guide, and I hope you did, I spent a lot of time talking about jungling, how you should do it, what are some tips and stuff. So I wanted you to do a little bit of practice of it. It's going to be a 20-minute jungle challenge, but it's not going to be the previous one where it's really confusing, a lot of rules and whatnot. This one's going to be done in single player mode, so you could try as many times as you want. I will be not only taking, well, I will be considering a high score of gold, but I will also take into creativity, because not all of us want to jungle with Lycan. Not all of us want to jungle with another good jungler like Enigma. Some of us maybe want to jungle Storm, jungle Crystal Maiden, jungle whatever. I'm looking for creativity. I'm looking for a flair, if you will. So it's a challenge, but there's no clear indication of winners. So if you want to submit your challenge, you go read out the specific rules in the description box below. And oh yeah, if you're sending me your replays, please tell me what version they are in, because I don't want to switch through from 1.26, 1.24e, 1.24d. I don't want to deal with that, so please tell me. It makes my life a lot simpler. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Dota Weekly show, and until next time, as always, this is Luminous signing out. See you guys.